Yo, what's up everybody, External here. Recently, I've been wondering, how much can I get done in Animal Crossing New Leaf within the span of 24 hours of the file's creation without fast forwarding time so I could get stuff done in the future and not have to wait for buildings to be done. And I feel like it's not a lot actually, but I wanted to test myself and my attention span. So we're trying it in Animal Crossing New Leaf. If you guys want to see this again, I'll try to New Horizons. But let's get into it. Here we go. So we press the start. The timer begins. To begin the game, we have a cutscene with Rover where he asks the time, our name, which we chose External. And then this is, when it asks you this, it just asks for the town name as well. It's trying to figure out what the town looked like. When it's asking you questions about yourself, it's generating your character. It's generating your town right now. I tried to pick a town that looked cool. The reason I picked Hoenn is when I originally played New Leaf, when I was a kid, well, early teens, I named it Hoenn after the Hoenn region, my favorite video game location of all time. The 2002 line was an Easter egg. We're 5 minutes into the challenge and we just arrived to the town. The beginning of the game is a lot of tutorial mumbo jumbo, the not so interesting stuff. Right there is Annabelle. This is something I realized for the first time recording this. I actually started recording this gameplay right before Thanksgiving, like the day before. We weren't supposed to be the mayor. I'm trying to figure out the controls right now because I'm playing on keyboard and mouse compared to a controller. And we found a perfect cherry, which is really rare. The perfect fruits in this game are incredibly rare. And the fact I found one on the first day, the only day of this challenge, well, technically this was 2 days because I started at 10 in the morning on Wednesday and I stopped around 10 in the morning Thursday, which was Thanksgiving. So right now this is the process of us getting introduced to City Hall. This is the unskippable tutorial, as I said. It's explaining more. We have to go to Nook's homes to get our house so we can register as a citizen of Hoenn, which we're running there to do. But first I want to figure out how to pick up the perfect cherry. Figured out how to shake a tree. I'm recording this so far later, the voiceover, that I forgot the controls. I'm recording this voiceover on December 13th. Now I'm collecting fruit because I'm like, I might as well make enough money to pay off my home. That way I have a home if I ever decide, I want to do a second video on this save file. Just taking a quick trip around the business district. There's Tom Nook, everyone's least favorite Animal Crossing character. And we're getting the choice to decide where we're going to put our house. I have no clue where I should put my house. We can't go too quick because you can't keep up. Normally I always put it on the bottom half of the map. I did that in New Horizons. I did that in my old New Leaf playthrough when I was a kid. I'm pretty sure you were able to customize the color of your roof in New Leaf, but that might have been in a later update. I don't know what update of the game I have running here on the emulator, but so we have a tent as temporary housing and our headquarters, you could call it, for the next 24 hours. We're 20 minutes in with, well, we have our tent, which is a good start, and we're getting enough money to pay off the $10,000 for the house, which is my goal ultimately during this challenge. It's 10:37 a.m., so we started about 10 a.m. We found the perfect spot to call home. Indeed we did. So we have to register. But there's one thing I need to know. My birthday, August 26th. See how quick I did that? We got our ID card, which we don't have a picture on yet. We do need to get that done when we have the time. Now we're at the tree planting ceremony, which ends the first half of that, like, boring tutorial mumbo-jumbo that I don't like. And we did it within the first half hour. On November 23rd. It said the date we recorded this, actually. So now we have nothing to do. It saves for us, which is great. But I remember after this point, I went to have breakfast. And when I got back, I was like, okay, I need to go to Nooklings Junction, sell the fruit, since I lost a little over an hour because I decided I wanted to go for a bike ride and get breakfast. This is our first time in the shop. My idea was if I can get a shovel, I can get fossils, and then I could come back later, get a fishing rod for fish, and that gives me something I can work on, which is the museum, which is a good hobby, I guess you could call it, where it's something I can do to pass time and it's somewhat productive. Also, I could get money if I catch duplicates of certain fish. Also, you can get money from the tree. Also, bury the perfect sapling, which, as I said, would help if I had more time with this challenge, but I don't. So I'm gathering fruit, walking around, since I know your native fruit doesn't generate much money. And we're happen to play in autumn where there's mushrooms, which there's a chance of mushrooms being furniture, which is good to decorate my house. But first I need to get enough money to get a house. If I can get 10,000 in the first 12 or so hours before it becomes Thanksgiving, I can obviously have a house by the end. But most likely, since the way I positioned the video, I got it to be a second day without going over 24 hours. We got mushroom furniture. This is the first save file of Animal Crossing where the pear isn't my native fruit. This is the first time I've gotten cherry. This is the first time, as I said, I got anything that wasn't pear. Pockets are full. Now we have to reorganize, which is so easy when you're using a mouse. And I'm lucky that the bottom screen's controlled by a mouse when the top screen's controlled by a keyboard. We're talking to our new neighbors. That's Bob. I was checking the time, trying to figure out an idea of what to do. I just sit there brainstorming. I had an idea. I'm gonna see if there's any more fruit in town so I could try to get enough to pay off my house without having to get the money rock, which is going to be tough since I'm not that good with Animal Crossing on keyboard and mouse yet. And then there's also the entire fake rock, which can give you a gemstone. But first, I'm going to decorate the inside of my tent, but I'm interrupted by an introduction, another mini tutorial from Isabelle about lighting inside your house and displaying objects. This is one of those forced mini tutorials, like how getting your house is a tutorial on how to do economics in this game. This is a tutorial on decorating. We also get to put our mushroom lamp. We'll put that in the opposite corner. We gotta go around, push it. We have two light sources in there. Let's see, are there any more cherries? There's some. And we're getting a good look around, like, the agriculture, since I would love to do a series of challenges in this playthrough of this game on this save file now that we got the tutorial out of the way. For example, an idea I had was, what can I do with a second 24 hours in New Leaf? We found fossils. Nope, that's a regular rock. That's a regular mushroom. That's not furniture. That's just a regular rock. But that money is good just in case we find out that we run out of fruit and we don't have enough to sell. Let me real quick organize my inventory. That looks sweet. Here's the money rock. I fucked that up. I seriously fucked that up. Hopefully tomorrow, or I should say the second half of this recording, I can get it better since it's going to be, oh, this is the tutorial to the recycle shop. Because as I said, every first interaction in a place is like a tutorial. Which is cool, but at the same time a bit annoying when you want to skip through dialogue, and you really can't skip through the dialogue. Instead, you kind of just have to mash the A button, like, and you just have to press the A button through it, even though you really do not want to hear that. We got 5,000 off the bat. We have $5,000, which is half of what we need for the house, and that's from just collecting fruit alone. So I'm going up. So first, we start off by loading up the Sorry if the recording switched abruptly. What happened was right when I got to here recording the original voiceover, that my PC shut off suddenly. So we're now up top at Tom Nook's shop, so we can get the ability to pay off our house, since you can't pay it at the bank until you do. We're at 5,000 in the first 2 hours now, which is not bad whatsoever. That's actually quite good, meaning we're halfway there. And we're about to spend 500 to get the fishing rod, because selling fish might help. A downside with this that I thought of at this point was that I can only use 12 of those hours about to really play, because nighttime I have to sleep. And in-game, you can't go to any of the stores until 10 a.m., meaning most of the second day, I can't do anything money-based. So it's all based on the money rock for the second day. We're giving our fossils to Blathers as well, just to say our museum has a little bit of worth, I guess. That's the best term for it. Assess a fossil. We have 4 of those. Hand those to him. 4 fossils is more than I normally find in Animal Crossing. That's the most I've ever seen, actually, in a single day that you found, or that I found. So he wants us to donate them. Obviously we will, because selling them would be a good option to make that 10,000 that we need for the house. But I would rather have something to say, oh, I got this done, and here's proof that I got this done. So there we go, donating our fossils, all 4 of them. There's no need for you to... Yeah, we have nothing else. We gotta go and save and quit, because I wanted to go work on other videos and stream. But we came back. It's late at night. It's 13 hours in. I was gone for most of the day, doing the usual shit, streaming, recording, going outside, hanging out with friends, working on music. And this is just, once again, I talk about these tutorial situations. That's probably from Nintendo, that letter, like, because I know Nintendo exists in that universe. So that's probably, like, Nintendo. But night fishing is the best way for me to, right before bed, I'm gonna fish, try to make some money. As you can see, it was 11 p.m., but then I got too tired, so I barely played. Hopped off for the night because it was 11 p.m. And I was like, I'm not getting that house now. The next morning, it's the Harvest Festival. It's Thanksgiving. This is in the middle of the parade. I'm like, shit, I gotta finish this video. So I'm getting fossils. There's the Harvest Festival. I talked to Franklin. This is an event I've never participated in, by the way. Even though I've had New Leaf forever. I don't know where to get most of those ingredients, but I run up to quickly see if I could customize my character. One of the shops is open. I wanted to see if they had a bug net, which they do not have. So I go here to pay off half of the balance, except it doesn't give us the option to pay off half of our debt or our loan, or whatever the term is. So I decide I should look for the money rock and the gemstone rock. Maybe grab some mushrooms along the way. There's a fossil. We might as well get some more fossils and work on the museum. That was a mushroom closet. That was another fossil. Like, we're finding a lot of stuff. No money rock or fake rock yet. Another fossil. We're really digging up some history today. But there's the fake rock, and it was an emerald. There's the money rock. We did whole of a lot better, or bell of a lot better. That was so bad. But we did a lot better compared to the previous day. We're at 6,800 now. Get the mushrooms. We could sell off the gemstone. I want to sell. We could sell the mushrooms and the stone. That gets us to $20 away from our 10,000 total. We're less than an hour away from the end of the challenge, so I'm scurrying at this point. I remember Tom Nook said that you could sell seashells by the seashore. So I decided to go to the beach, fish, catch some seashells, or I should say grab some seashells, but that's beyond the point. I need to get that done since the fish will probably go in the museum, and then that's what we have to say based on our playthrough. We caught our first fish. We need to catch a few more to just make any amount of progress. We caught a dab. This isn't 2016, so dabbing is not funny. We caught a mackerel. Checking inventory space, since that's always an issue for me in Animal Crossing, and in most games, is managing my inventory. But I caught the horse mackerel. Decided to keep fishing because I'm like, I might as well. I caught an old tire, which is going to cost me a disposal fee. I'm not going to dump it in the middle of town. I'm going to pay the disposal fee because, well, I know I'm making a couple hundred. Let's see, it should be a couple hundred. 490, that's enough to where we have over 10,000 as our bank balance, which is good. But I decided, you know what, I'm going to look for shells and keep fishing since it's 9:35. I have a little bit of time left. Caught a sea bass, 42 inches, which is not bad at all. We caught a second one, 39. Had to check the inventory again since we caught a horse mackerel. But I didn't want to run out of space, and I was so focused on getting as much done as possible. Like with the seashells, my pockets are full. This is what I was worried about. So I have to go back to the shop to sell. But I'm going to go to the other shop, see if it's late enough to where I can customize my character's clothing. But before that, I should offload the remaining fossils and fish we got. We got 4 fossils for the second day straight, meaning we got 8 fossils in this time span of 24 hours. That's amazing to me that we got that much. Obviously, we're going to be donating them since we have the 10,000 we need for the house to be paid off. And I wanted to see. Let's see, several things. Yep. I'm giving you everything I have that I think is worth it. Nope, there's nothing else you can help with. But have a great day, Blathers. So we leave the museum. The clothing store is closed, which it would have been cool to customize my character, but first I gotta head back down, sell off the seashells. It's 9:41, it's cutting close. Most of the shops open at 10. So I'm like, I could maybe get lucky and I get a little bit of time in there since I started a tiny bit past 10, but I first have to sell everything off that I have that I don't need to generate additional money. So now we're at 1,100, or 11,000 actually. 11,000, giving us 1,340 spending money that we could use on clothes or other stuff to make our character look cool. But first, I'm just going to walk around and see if I can get some fish. I suck at fishing. That's what I learned here. That's one thing that my skills at this game compared to in real life. I'm bad at fishing. I hate fishing in real life. But I'm gonna put my mushroom closet in there. Half our furniture is mushroom based. We don't even have a bed in our tent. I don't know how my character slept that night. But looking around, I'm like, I'm running low on time. I could generate a tiny bit more money, even though it's worthless at this point since the challenge is so close to being over. It's less than 30 minutes away from the run ending, but I'm gonna collect more seashells since the plants, like the fruit regrows every 3 days. So there's no way I'm getting any more fruit during this challenge. So seashells, fish, that opens at 10, which is not good because that means that I have to wait. But it's 2 minutes away, so I could just sit there and wait. That's where my favorite place in Animal Crossing is. Time's not going quick enough because I'm legit 3 minutes away from the... At this point I realized I think my emulator's glitched where like the time isn't flowing correctly or something, because I swear I started at around 10:30, 10:15 the challenge. But I have to get ready to wrap up because it hit 24 hours. I realized that I casted my rod right after, so I closed immediately, and that's how much we got in 24 hours. But that's all I was able to get done in the 24 hours of, well, Animal Crossing. I got 8 fossils, got a bunch of fish registered, had enough money to pay off my house. I got perfect fruit, I got seashells, I made $11,000, closer to 12,000, maybe 13,000 if you count the 1,000 I did end up spending on a shovel and the fishing rod. But it was a fun experience. It was stressful and tough to record because I kept getting distracted due to Thanksgiving being the next day and the day I was recording, because as I said, I recorded it in 2 splits. But if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share this with your friends, and if this video gets 15 likes, I'll do another version of this challenge with New Horizons, and maybe continue playing through this save file of Hoenn. Peace, everybody.